Okay, there you go. That's the C Lydian mode or scale. It's just like the C major scale, except the difference is it's the fourth. So this is the major or the Ionian. As we're continuing our series on modes, we've talked about Ionian, Dorian, and Phrygian. The Dorian and the Phrygian can fall under the minor. So you can use those two interchangeably. Look at my previous videos on, I think one is called, it's very simple, C Phrygian scale, C Dorian scale. Look at those. Obviously, as I just said, the major scale is the Ionian. The difference between the Ionian and the Lydian is just one note, and that's the fourth note. You would start off the major or the Ionian. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Lydian is this. So that's a little higher. So maybe it's got a little bit more of a major flair to it, which is good because as you see, the related chords can be in the key of C. You could play a C or a C major 7th. So just lift up your first finger to a D9, like a D, but you lift up your second finger. You can put an A minor 7th. Back to a D9, C major 7, D9, to A minor 7th, and then you can play or what else you can do is that you can just take a part of it. Now, I'm going to show you both the scale and this little lick that I worked out here. So I'm going to play the lick. So say you're playing C major 7th. You're playing a C major 7th. There you go. To a D9 or a D add 2. Something really nice like that. So it's all right. That is right over here. Okay. So I'm starting. Yes, I am starting on the B note actually, because you don't have to start directly on the note of the scale. So I played this measure right there, and there's the fingering right to here. And I would suggest to repeat this a few times in variation, then go to the other end of the scale. Now, and as you know, I'm playing a 2-octave form of this mode, this scale. Mode and scale, they're interchangeable. I've heard the theoretical debates that they're not the same, but you're playing music. You're playing some notes, okay? Some scales and stuff like that. And while we got the sheet out, okay, sorry that it's old school. Here's the mode right here, okay? So remember, this is exactly the same. The C Lydian mode is exactly the same as a C major scale or C Ionian. But the fourth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, is one note raised. So it's sharped, okay? It's raised a half step, just a half step. All right, so let's talk about some related chords as well. Once again, you can play a C major 7th. That's almost like playing a D minor and then putting your first finger on the 8th fret. You're not playing the 5th string. And then instead of playing a D minor, just lift up that second finger to an A minor 9th. I mean, you could play chords like D, D9, D11, where I'm just barring the first 5 strings in the 5th fret. And then you can play the 13th, or you can play the 13th with an extra note. Instead of going down to that G flat there, or the F sharp, which is their enharmonic, they're the same. Enharmonic means it's the same note, but a different name. F sharp, G flat's the same, okay? So I would play quickly like that. Here's the D11, there's the D13th right there. C, C major, C major ninth. That's a pretty chord as well. Fourth, fifth string. Second and third frets of the fourth and fifth strings. Third finger. And if you didn't know this, just skip ahead a little bit. Fourth finger is going to go on that third string, fourth fret. Third finger, it's on the second string. So C major 9 to a D9. So remember, here's your mode. And if you wanted just to play it right from third string, seventh fret, you can play 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. In other words, seventh and ninth fret on that third string. Seventh, eighth, and 10th fret on the second string. So essentially, find me pencil right here, you can use this section of the 2-octave scale that I just put in parentheses, using these different chords. You know, you can see the different chords that I wrote down. C major ninth. And then the D's are up there and the versions. I mean, these are not the only related chords, but just a few, and I don't want to inundate you or overwhelm you with too much of this theory, but it's a good idea to really understand Ionians, which is major scale. And so the Ionian and Lydian and Mixolydian, those are your three modes that can fall under the major category, major scale category. So Dorian, Phrygian, Aeolian, and Locrian. So pretty much 4 of the modes, which again are Dorian, Phrygian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Locrian is the last one. That's very mystifying sounding, we'll call it that. You know, some people want to say that minor scales are dark. That's not necessarily true. And the major scales are brighter. That's not necessarily true either. I mean, you could basically categorize them as that. I mean, they will teach you that in basic music theory 1 or 2. But of those 7 modes, I mean, that's how you can categorize it. So this is kind of a major sounding mode. And it just has endless possibilities. So I use my second and fourth finger, and then my first, third, and fourth fingers, and then my first, third, and fourth fingers, and then my 7th and 9th, 7th, 8th, and 10th, 7, 8. And somebody's calling me. I'm sorry about that. We're going to end this. You have it all right here. Please look at this video. Have a good time with it. Keep playing and have fun.